Hey, this is Jonas DeFess with NolaTrainer.com. Thanks for coming back to my website. This is part 2 of the Lucy Bustamante interview, and she's going to talk a little bit about weight loss goals and how they can affect your results, and a little bit about emotional eating. So it's pretty good stuff. So check it out.
A little bit further down the park. Enjoy this beautiful day.
It's nice.
You talk to a lot of people, and do you ever talk to them about exercise and try to figure out how to compare what they're doing wrong to what you're doing wrong or what you're doing right?
In the circles of our workout groups, that's a conversation that comes up because a lot of times women are there because they're trying to achieve a certain goal or something else has happened in their life. And one thing that I find is that for people that haven't created that regime of workout or healthy eating, what actually gets them to that point is usually an emotional experience. And so it helps to have that support group in women. Women are especially very emotional creatures that you have to really have an outlet to be able to get those emotions out. A lot of times women will take on exercise and eating better for an emotional reason, and then once they start to feel better again, then that other side kind of drops off. So I think it's really crucial for people to analyze, what am I feeling? What's motivating me to want to do this? Is it because I feel down on myself because of something else that went wrong in my life? Exercise and eating healthy is not going to fix what else is wrong in a different section of your life. Will it help you feel better on a daily basis? Absolutely, but one cannot replace the other as far as having it solve your problems or have it fix your self-esteem. You definitely still have to analyze what is wrong in other aspects of your life and deal with those. You can't expect to lose 15 pounds and all of a sudden feel like you don't have a problem in your life. That's a very, it's just not realistic.
How do you feel about when women had the motivation to exercise, as far as goals, like when you got married, how much of a motivation was that to lose weight for your wedding dress or something like that? How do women function and
Yes.
process that?
That was a big challenge for me because I'm very results oriented, I'm very goal oriented. Until now, where it's a little bit of a change in life and in personality, I wasn't really about the journey and more about the destination. And so you finally get to that destination, which is your wedding day and your wedding dress. And sure, you look great because you've been training for however many weeks nonstop, 5 days, eating well. But then you kind of say, okay, there was my goal. And I had a drop-off point where you have to kind of forgive yourself and say, okay, I deserve a week or two off. But also you have to realize that there is an afterlife. You get to that goal and then you have to discover a way of maintenance. And I think that's where women fall on the emotional stumbling block, because they feel like they got there and now what? So you really do have to have a plan. You have to really do some inner searching and evaluating of, why did I want this for this day only? Why didn't I want it for the 3 weeks before the wedding, or the 6 months after the child was born, or so you really do have to. The human beings are a full package. It's not just eating well and exercising. I mean, you really do. But of course, goals like that are great motivators to get you involved to begin with. But it's not the be all end all. That's for sure.
All right. What about food? Like when you talk about food and cravings and
Sure.
things that might throw you off your diet, what is that makes you really decide to put something in your mouth that might throw off your goals or
Right.
or make that bad choice during the day?
I think for me anyway, it's I come from a family that has always eased pains and sufferings with food. And I think we do that, especially in the South, and people in general. Like whenever there's any kind of suffering, like after someone's funeral, there's a big feast at someone's house. And I think it's in our culture to kind of medicate our pains with food. And some families do it more than others. My family did it a lot, Cuban, Spanish culture. And that was something that kind of like a habit where, as strong as you wake up every morning and you brush your teeth, that's how strong it was for me. That I get stressed out, well then, you go and you grab something to eat, or somebody grabs a cigarette when they're nervous, or that was. But smoking a lot of times doesn't sabotage weight loss goals, where food
Right.
does. So I really had to look into the emotional eating and say, what is the reason right now in this moment, and truly get in touch with, am I hungry or am I overwhelmed? And a lot of times, like, the eating would just kind of replace whatever I really did want to solve at that time. And it wasn't until I started to get a little bit more in touch with that, and you kind of have to, lose the shame of it and stare at yourself and go, that's not the way you want to do it. It sabotages your health plans, and it was almost a blessing in the sense that it makes you realize what else is going on. That it's not really about the food at all, and that it's really about your problem solving skills.
So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that part 2 of the interview, and stay tuned because there's another part coming up soon. Again, this is Jonas DeFess with NOLAtrainer.com.